We're here back with another video. This one we're going to be talking about the new update. Spoiler alert, not a ton of content here from a PvP side, but from a PvE side, we got mutated expeditions of the group finder, so there's going to be 3 rotating ones now. So you could farm the artifacts if people are still playing the game on your server, which is great. Or at least it's not even on your server anymore. You could do it if people are playing on your region as a whole. So really good news for EU and NA East players. For NA West, this doesn't really affect you very much. For AP Southeast, this doesn't really affect you very much, but for other people, a pretty nice quality of life changed there. In terms about the stuff that's changed from the PvP side, there's basically one change, and it's that Pestilence now has an increased cooldown from 0.5 to 1 seconds. So what this effectively does is it makes it so that builds that were using Pestilence as an offhand won't be as effective. I went through and 0.25 a entire fire staff test basically, and you barely don't hit 3 ticks after 1 second with fire staff. So this is gonna make it so that instead of 3 ticks to apply 1 pest, it's gonna take 4. So it's a 25% nerf to the disease on fire staff itself. BB, if you spam it back to back, you will also not get the proc. So there's potential where you can't actually get stacks built up on BB because you're just shooting too quickly. So you actually need to hold your shots on BB a little bit more. Another nerf to BB, we kind of wish that BB wasn't getting so many nerfs, especially after the recent fix to the gem changes, which was the main reason why BB was hitting so hard in the first place before. And after that fix, BB hasn't been adjusted, and BB is definitely in need of some help right now. It's still good as a utility class, but as a DPS class, BB is definitely not there compared to many other classes. Noteworthy too, that with this change, it's basically making FSBB a little bit worse, makes BBIG not super applicable, makes Great Axe BB about neutral, so most BB builds are kind of unaffected. Spear BB is about neutral, so it's a very slight nerf. The other thing that changed here too, of the keg issue, kegs, there are 2 kinds of kegs within New World. There are kegs for OPR, and there's kegs for war. The OPR kegs have a lot more HP than the war kegs, and those are the ones that are getting buffed. So each OPR keg has a base of 15k HP. Each war keg has a base of 7k HP. The 15k HP kegs are getting increased to 30k. They're also getting their price reduced in half, which is nice, but they're still effectively not gonna be doing very much here. I have a clip here where we went into a war, or we went into an OPR, we lit a keg, saw how much damage it did. It did 50k damage. I don't know if you guys can see that there. It's a little weird with the giant thing in the center of the screen, not gonna lie. But this does 50k damage to a T3 gate. T3 gates have 180k HP, so you effectively need 4 kegs to get a kill. The other thing too is that the door can just basically instantly be repaired by kegs. So if you're not layering the kegs on top of each other, it's not going to do anything. And kegs are effectively not going to be changing the PvE meta very much. If anything, it's going to be more of an asset for the people that are building gates, because now they have another resource that they could use to kind of troll people and just get one-shots on people that are trying to enter and breach into a certain area, since they're cheaper now. So no change there. Keg doesn't really do anything. They need to figure out a way to basically nerf doors if they want this to be super effective. In terms of how PvE works right now, people are stacking basically a lot of effects that boost the amount of resources that you get. On top of this, with the recent change to, somewhat recent change to 700 gear score, you can just one-tap every single mining node. So you can basically just go around just one-tapping all these nodes. You get about 15k resources per minute. They introduced 1.5k resources per 5 minutes. And they introduced a new item that is going to increase the yield even further. So you're going to be able to even get a higher amount of resources, which you could use to repair those gates. So effectively, there's no change here. PvE is still going to be very, very dominant in OPR. Would not expect that to change anytime soon until AGS looks at that fundamental problem, which is either a resource gathering, which I would argue is more so the problem within OPR, and those resource gathering effects would probably not work within OPR, like the proficiency boosters, or B, the amount of speed it takes to repair a door. But PvEers could basically single carry OPRs right now, and it's not very fun nor interactive because there's not good countering mechanisms. The countering mechanism that they're trying to introduce to this patch is the keg. It takes you 4 kegs exactly to get a kill. And within those 4 kegs, if you get hit once while you're lighting the keg, it's going to cancel your lighting animation, and it's not even going to let you do that. So PvE still very, very dominant. There's no exception there. It's going to be dominant for the next couple of months, likely until the May patch, and we'll see from there. So if you're someone that has been playing the game because you're tilted at Door PR, definitely don't play the game after this patch because it's going to be more of the same. So overall, in terms of PvP, basically no changes. Not really an update at all. But in terms of PvE, they got the cross-world expeditions working, which is great, except there's not a lot of people playing the game within multiple regions, or within a few regions, so it's probably not going to be the best solution, but, you know, it's here. The tech is finally here, and I'm sure that will be welcomed if people do come back for May release when it's a little bit bigger. But that being said, nothing super insane here, just mostly PvE stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video.